as I dive into priorities, developing priorities, not just me, but the committee itself.
Right.
What advice do you have, or where should we spend some time focusing?
Well, I think, we created those buckets years ago, and I think that is really where we have made the most progress.
Yep.
Is kind of staying focused in those areas where it's about product, it's about people, and it's about competitiveness.
Right.
And so how do we do that? And I think product, the state has done a great job in EDP&C and everybody about moving forward with the mega sites.
Right.
And so that issue's underway, but it's like chess pieces. So that's addressing, because the mega sites were taken in such a great run that we've had in the last 2 years, is, where do you've got to replenish that supply. But what people really haven't focused on is all the other projects that came that your community and my community get to face, because we're not mega site.
We're not. Nope. I have big mountains.
Right. Exactly.
You can't really move them.
Right. So a 20-acre site, 50-acre site, 100-acre site means something to us.
Exactly.
And if you look at what EDP&C has in their pipeline, that's where 99% of the projects are, right?
Most of them.
So that's where I think we need to go next. So it's not that the mega site is great, right? But then there's a progression of this and refilling the pipeline, because all of our product is gone.
Yes.
So I think it is this, and then at some point we would eventually move to some way to helping address buildings, but that's probably in the future, because we really got to focus on those sites. So anything under mega sites, which I think y'all have done a really good job of developing a plan for that.
We have. We're focusing on all 100 counties, and I believe as the voice of the association, we need to make sure that we are developing policies or draft proposals that are focusing on all 100 counties. And every county can appreciate a smaller site. So yes, that opportunity is hopefully going to be recurring, because it's like a zero interest loan. And that will be great to have, again, in these communities where they need it. All tiers, because tiers don't follow topography. So we need opportunities.
That's exactly
for
right.
all 100 counties.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Moore County and Orange County, Henderson, Union, whatever. That Lincoln County. There's a lot of pockets of wealth, but there's a lot of pockets of despair.
Right.
And again, our job is to provide job opportunities, career opportunities for all of our citizens.
All of the citizens. Speaking of providing those career opportunities. Workforce. Oh my goodness. How do we even tackle workforce? It seems like a problem that just cannot be solved.
Right. I think that's everywhere. The nice thing about that is it's a universal suffering, whether it's in Europe or in the US, Canada, whatever. I think the labor issue is coming up everywhere. So it's not as, I guess, critical in the sense of, if you don't have a lot of labor, you're just like everyone else at that point. So, but what's going to make a difference is those that try to address that and work to put some measures in place that will help build the pipeline to fill the manufacturing. I think, some of the items that you've got in the legislative priorities really are coming to work with that, whether it's apprenticeship work, supporting the community college and the pay for the teachers and the instructors there, just all kinds of things. I can't remember all the items.
Those are the, two of the bigger ones. We're seeing more students hopefully enroll, at least in our community, we're seeing more students enroll in the community college. So we want to be able to make sure that those teachers and professors there have a more competitive salary.
Right.
So that's something that we're going to support through the My Future NC initiative. We are hoping to raise the dropout age. I didn't realize you could drop out at 16.
Yeah, I didn't either, and that's ridiculous.
You can't even, you barely got your braces off, and you're not, you're just gonna quit and go figure out life. Good luck.
Right.
So that's something that we have to change, or otherwise you get those students in a very vicious cycle, and they just can't get out. So
I don't know about you, but again, I haven't matured beyond that.
You haven't,
But at the time, at 16, I wasn't prepared for anything about life.
What was your job at 16?
Oh, I was a lifeguard.
A lifeguard?
Yeah, so I was saving lives.
Can you imagine being a lifeguard right now?
Oh, you wouldn't want to see that.
That's what I'm saying. So
that Speedo? The surfer locks and the Speedo, man, I was something.
See?
Nowadays,
that's just how we have protected this world, is by you
limiting my opportunity to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So that's a big piece of it. Obviously, work-based learning through apprenticeships is really important, and other avenues of work-based learning. We want to make sure that our students, again, in all 100 counties, understand that there's multiple entry points to success.
Right.
You do not have to have a 4-year university degree to be successful.
No, majority of the jobs being created don't need that.
What's your degree in?
So I was economics, but I started out in architecture. And so, that's all I'd ever wanted to be, but was in college, realized 3 semesters in, this is not what little Chris had in his mind, right?
Yeah.
And you start to get the realization of what the job actually is. And that's a hard job that was not, it didn't suit my strengths.
Right.
And started to look back. So it was political science and economics, and how all of that blended together to be good for economic development, in which a career that I didn't even know existed. So there's so many, I don't know how many people changed their majors in college, and that's what I think the community college allows you to do, is gives you a chance to figure out a little bit more as you kind of mature, and you really get to know yourself rather than someone telling you go be a doctor, go. And that, if you want to continue on, as you'd said, that you have that opportunity, because you come in as a junior, so many credits, you're, I think, more mature, more serious person at that point. So there's more chance for success if you want that.
If you want that success.
But go get a trade, because a trade travels. That's the other thing too, is you have a downturn in your community and you need to move from Union to Henderson County to get a job.
That would be an upgrade.
You're going to the mountains. But that's you take your toolkit with you.
Exactly. A lot of people don't know this, that Henderson and Union are actually really similar communities.
Right.
You are
one's flatter.
One's flatter. One has a better economic developer.
Thank you.
No, but in all honesty, you're close to Charlotte. I'm close to Asheville. We're both tier 3.
Right.
And then we border South Carolina. We both went to South Carolina schools.
Yes.
I went to the school that won the football game this year.
Okay. Once out of every 7 or 8 years, we'll give you one.
But no, in all honesty, because of that, I think that's why we probably talk so often, is that we feel the same strains. But we feel things that maybe people in the other part of the state don't understand. That our competition is not distance between a state. They're looking right next door. And so how do we make ourselves competitive?
Right. Even our existing industry can sort of hop the border while retaining their workforce. So it does add another complex piece of it. It's nice to know, by being attached to the other state, we do, and again, I worked in South Carolina too. So the knowing the competition, knowing what what they can offer. I think from our standpoint, our taxes are relatively low in comparison to other states around us, particularly in South Carolina. Just the way, the way the system is structured, they're going to be a little bit more expensive at the local level, and so it's good to understand that and try to figure out, from a competitive standpoint, how do we attack this project so that we can show off our best side, right? I think in South Carolina, or Georgia and other places, they sell incentives, where I think North Carolina, because we're so cost focused on, by what the legislature has done, and I think just more conservative at our local level in our taxation, is we're very cost competitive, and that's what you sell. It's like the bottom line of doing business here. So I think that's critical in understanding those two differences.
We need big billboards as you enter South Carolina. Like, you just left the #1 state to do business. Turn around. We need to market that right on the border. Be in your face about it, to really make our message known.
Right.
It's an exciting time. I think there's been a lot of change, which honestly sometimes can be uncomfortable, because we're having to relearn how to be more transactional, how to dive into more data, how do we talk about robots and automation when workforce isn't as successful as it once was, and the recruitment strategies, you're having to think about everything, and we're having to think about product. But in a lot of ways, it's like we're starting over, and we can come up with something fresh. Hopefully I'll keep our tenure for 28 years like you. And I think it's an exciting time. And I hope people lean into the association. I hope that they use the tools and resources that we have, that they make those connections that are so important, make some friends, dodge some enemies like Donnie Hicks.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a good time to be in economic development because it's almost like you're getting in on the ground floor.
Absolutely. And again, be strategic. You can't follow what this you can't be everything.
Right.
So find where you're competitive and really attack that and talk to those communities that also do that.
Yeah. Do you know if the coffee shop is around here?
It is just around the corner, I think.
Okay.
Again, I don't spend that much time up here.
I don't know why. I just kept driving today. It's just, there's so many thoughts. This was good to have this therapy session, to get it off my chest, to talk it through, and hopefully come back better. We almost took a squirrel down.
Right. Squirrel.
I think it's maybe this way.
Yep, I think you're right.
Right.
It is right there.
There it is. Oh, I've heard good things about this shop.
Yeah, it should be.
Should be good.